Okay, so let's conclude. These are just the last points I wanted to make after now that we've done both of those, and you kind of see how the two function differently from each other, and kind of the pros and cons of making the swap. So, I think that now is really the time to make this swap. We've been waiting for years. Students have been suggesting that we make this swap for many years, and I've really been one of the greatest opponents of making this change. But Onshape is just like it makes so much sense for what we're doing, especially remotely, especially for all our newbies that we're going to try to train. I just think that it's never made more sense, and it's going to help our students. And my main opposition to it in the past was it's not used in industry, it's not used in university. Well, that's changed. It is used. Onshape is used in industry. It is used in universities, and learning it is as valuable as learning SolidWorks. And I don't think that was true 2 years ago. Um, I think the most important reason to make this swap is more students can use it. They have access to it through various devices, whatever they might have, even if it's a weak PC or a Mac, whatever, they can use Onshape. And I think that's a really big deal. And I'd hate for students in the fall to be excluded. Um, Next part, you'll be able to work collaboratively significantly easier. GrabCAD sucks. Like there's always so many issues. Even like sometimes we get very few, but even still, with experienced cadders, we run into issues. It was a nightmare during the design competition. So many things I kept hearing that was in their downloads folder. Not a thing with Onshape. It's as simple as share the link. Oh, I actually didn't show you that. Let me cut out real quick to show this. So like for this drivetrain, all I would do to share it, as I click share, I would enter someone's name that I want to add, Kwong, Levy, Anna, Jiang, Katie. I can tell them, send them this and share it with them, and then Levy would be able to share this. Or I can turn on link sharing, and that will allow me to share this, but it won't be an editable version. It will just be for view. But I can actually go ahead and for individuals or for the team, StylePulse, I can make it so anyone in StylePulse can edit it as well. So that it functions the same as GrabCAD in terms of people's access, but it's so much easier to make it accessible to people to share things properly. You don't have to do any uploads. I just click share, and that's it. Done. StylePulse has access to it. Everyone in StylePulse has access. I don't need to worry about leaving things in my download folder. I can start with everything in the right spot. Okay, going back to these to the conclusion. Let me load my notes here. Yeah, sharing files is more like Google Drive than Dropbox. It's just so much easier. If we want to be an open alliance team, which we've talked about before, being open source with everything that we're working on through the season, Onshape just makes it so much easier for people to be able to access our stuff. Even if we open up our GrabCAD to everyone, it's still hard for them to access. But with Onshape, they can just open the link, view it, see what we're up to. That's why most Open Alliance teams use it. 319, 6328. They all use Onshape. And lots of top teams have made that swap over to Onshape. I mentioned 319. Wave is using it. 973 is using it. I think 254 is using it. I'm not positive on that one. And everyone I've ever talked to loves it. I've never heard someone say, we made the swap from SolidWorks, which most people are using Onshape now. Most of those top teams made that swap from SolidWorks. I never hear, we made the swap to Onshape, we don't like it, we went back. I never hear that. I hear we've never made the swap, or there's resistance to making the swap, or people who haven't tried it making points against it. But anyone who makes that swap, I always hear, I'm so happy we did this. So many more students are working on CAD. So many more people have access to it. We have so much less problems. It's not to say there aren't problems. I know 319 had some sort of catastrophic issue where they basically lost their shooter last year. I don't really know all the details on that, but it happens. Like anything else, there are issues, but it does seem like it's just a lot better. I think Onshape is really perfect for StylePulse. I think it's really perfect for FRC. I've kept on finding myself when I was learning to use Onshape feeling like they were in my brain. Like they had gone in and figured out exactly what I need for FRC to make things faster, and they did it. I mean, like you saw, it took me less time to CAD the drivetrain in Onshape, even though I'm less experienced with it, even though I kind of lollygagged and didn't, like, I just kind of messed around a little bit at times and went a little slow at times, and I still got it done. I didn't have to worry about things taking forever. I didn't have to worry about things crashing. I had version control. Anything that messed up, I can go back if I needed to. I keep discovering new things on Onshape that make my life easier. You can put in fasteners really fast. There's so many little things. It's easy to create a bill of materials, so much easier. It's easier to figure out the center of mass of your robot. It auto calculates it for you. Like, I can go into here and I can click on this and I can select parts, and it'll tell me all the feature information about them. There may be parts I didn't assign materials to, but let's say I select everything. This might not work because I didn't assign materials to everything. It'll tell me everything. Mass, center of mass, where it is. Like, this really helps when you're designing robots, and it just takes care of it. Moments of inertia. If you're designing a shooter, you can find the moment of inertia of a flywheel you design. These are, really convenient things that Onshape just naturally does, and it's kind of just on the front. Like, Solidworks is capable of all this stuff, but it's not as on the forefront. It really is like this thing was designed for us. So I highly encourage us to make the swap. And if we don't, I hope you guys picked up on some new tricks that you didn't know before necessarily.